We're live. I think you guys can hear me. I'm going to try to add Brendan Sinone. Florida State loses to Wake Forest. And we are here. Try that. Try to get Brendan in here. We'll take your questions. Let me tweet this out. Make sure people know we are going live. Brendan's calling me. Hello? I'm live. All right, join me. I'm live. We're here. We're going to hang out. Let me go try to find the YouTube. How are we feeling? Florida State loses, but we are here. We're here. We're going to talk about this as a family. We're going to come together. I got the hot board here. Do I have a marker? Hot board. It's hot board time. Hot board season.
Oh. Yo, did you get the whiteboard?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Oh,
okay.
Here we go.
I don't know if people are going to want to do this. Can you find me the YouTube link and drop that in the text?
Yeah.
So we that out.
You want to put it on the message board?
Yeah, because I don't want to tweet this out, right?
Hey, you want to tweet this out?
Put it on the message board.
Oh, yeah, you want to tweet the video, but you don't want to tweet out. Yeah, I got you. We're good.
I'm more of a waffles guy, to be honest with you, because I like the waffle cubes. You know, you can like lather the butter into the waffle with the cubes.
Glad we got lather involved.
Like you get an equal amount of butter in each cube. That's why I like waffles. Plus, Allison makes really good waffles, and she doesn't make pancakes. Allison makes great waffles, though. She makes two kinds. Here we are. Welcome, Knowles 24/7 chat. She makes two kinds. One cinnamon, and the other's blueberry. Cinnamon sugar. Like she mixes the cinnamon sugar in the waffle mix. It's great. All right. You guys are here because we're hanging out. We're Knowles 24/7. I got Brendan Sinone here with me. Chris Nee is in. Where's Chris? He's in the press conference right now, talking to Coach Norvell, asking him the good questions, not the bad questions.
Only the good
just
questions.
the good questions. And I got a whiteboard. But somebody asked me if I like pancakes or waffles, and that was very important. Brendan, did you get me the link?
Yep, I got it.
Hey, can you embed that link on our message board?
I'm doing that right now. Yep, I'm going to tweet it out.
Does it work when you embed it? We've asked Bud Elliott, director of podcasting, to help us do one thing, which is to get these embeds to work.
Yep.
Are they working?
He directed me on how to do it, and apparently it was user error. I have to check a little box after a live video to watch the replay. I have to allow people to embed it. That was my fault, per usual.
Okay.
Standard.
Hope you didn't text him on a Friday.
No comment.
He's off on Fridays. All right, Brendan, we got some people in here. Let's talk a little bit about the game. We're waiting on Chris Nee to arrive, but initial thoughts. Just get it off the chest. Let it fly.
It was pretty bad, pretty brutal. My wife, we're at the beach this weekend because only one of us, Chris and I, he's not my wife, he's my work wife, could go up to the game. So Chris went. I went to St. Augustine with my wife. She was out at the beach for the last 3.5 hours while I was watching the shit show unfold. And she came back in, saw the score, looks at me, and just very sweetly and innocently goes, "They can't be this bad forever, right?" I don't know, sweetie. I don't know.
Forever's a long time.
I mean, it feels like forever. Isn't that kind of the takeaway for today? It's like where
do you go from here?
How is there the idea of like a road and a path back just seems like it just seems unfathomable to picture right now.
Yeah, I mean,
we're at 0-3.
It's kind of like I had coaches texting me. I told you this week that I'm back in a familiar place. I only hear from coaches like outside of FSU when Florida State is doing really, really well or really bad. And I've been hearing from a lot of coaches this week because Florida State's doing really bad. Do you think this is a breaking point for anybody on the coaching staff?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't know exactly how they're going to handle it, but I think you have to evaluate your coordinators at this point. And I think, especially with the defense's performance in the first half, Josh, you have to start to evaluate where Adam Fuller is. Like, I don't know if it's a breaking point in the sense, like, does he get left on the tarmac? Like, I don't know that, but clearly it's not working right now on that side of the ball.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it when Chris gets in here. But what are you, a pancake or waffle guy?
I'll put it this way. I think pancakes are better or more consistent. They're bringing their C game more often, where pancakes can be a D or an A more often, but an A game waffle.
I'm telling you, waffles is where it's at. All right. Do you think that? I mean, what do you think the fallout from this is? Do we see personnel changes? I mean, was this the last time that you think that we see? What's his name? Mackenzie Milton.
What's his name? He was the savior a few months ago, man. Now we're calling him what's his name? Yeah, we see more Mackenzie Milton. I mean, Jordan Travis got taken out of this game because of an injury. His shoulder was dangling as he left the game in the third quarter. You're going to need both of those quarterbacks this year. The issue is they haven't found a way for both of them to be effective. It was tough to see Mackenzie with the turnovers. What do you have? 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, or was it 3 interceptions? But 2 fumbles.
It was 2 and 2. I don't know.
Oof, they had 6 total. Jordan had 2 interceptions. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're talking about six turnovers total, and Mackenzie Milton I get frightened every time he gets hit, and the way the offense is formulated, like you can't really protect him consistently. And you have him. What did you think, Josh, of him running, especially on 4th and 2, a designed run, a little quarterback power action? Twitter wasn't.
My first thought was maybe he missed the handoff. Like, there's no way they're running him on 4th and 2. Just my initial first thought, but clearly when they showed the replay, that was a designed QB run on his part. Because Jay-Sean Corbin, made a beeline to block. They were going for a numbers thing, but I just don't like. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But on the other hand, Mackenzie Milton doesn't look comfortable throwing the football. He doesn't look. He doesn't look like himself at all. Not even close.
Yeah, and I guess they didn't go Wildcat, right? In that situation, would that?
Yeah, they didn't go Wildcat. All right, we're here to answer some of these questions. If you guys want to submit questions, drop them in here. Brendan, do you have can you put the banner thing? Can you add the banner stuff?
Yeah, I can put it in the banner. And do you know how to put up questions, or do you want me to take care of that?
No, I just meant tell people to subscribe or whatever.
Yeah, no, I can do that. But do you know how to get your questions up on the screen?
I can read them.
Yeah.
Or just hit show.
There you go.
Did we forget to fire Taggart or what? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I think the concern there is that this team.
We got to fire. Come on, we got more questions. Right, Brownlee and Jones shouldn't play anymore. I mean, Hunter and Cooper can't be worse, can't they? Hunter. Hunter Washington.
Hunter Washington.
Oh, see, he went Hunter Cooper. That's first name, last name. That's not how I would do it, Darion.
I mean, they like Cooper a good deal, and Hunter's just a little undersized right now. Needs to bulk up before he plays more. What you see right now are their best options.
Yes or no? Are we firing Fuller tomorrow? Is this a tarmac decision?
I think there's a better than 10% chance, which for me
he takes an Uber home.
Yeah. No, I don't think it'll be a tarmac deal, but I think you may have to start looking at evaluating things pretty soon. Because Norvell's going to take some heat off of him.
Milton needs to opt out before he gets hurt. And what's he going to opt out to? These are his last days of college right here. His last days of organized football are being played right now. You're watching it.
Coaching. I mean, I do get concerned every time he gets.
Can we line up an NIL deal for Travis Hunter right now? Yes. Somebody out here. I certainly don't have the money to do it, but Indy Seminole 59, you might. 2 words. Randy Shannon. What you got?
Placeholder.
Fire Fuller into the sun. LOL. No fire Mike. Mike should step down and save his career. We got to pay Travis. What? Oh, Travis Hunter. I thought you meant Jordan Travis. You might have to pay Jordan Travis just to keep playing behind this offensive line.
Keep taking hits. Hey, Josh, do you remember? Oh, okay, good. Where's Travis J? I mean, he was out there, and then did he get hurt? He got taken off the field at one point when his helmet came off. I don't know. He had a punt return. Why isn't he playing better? I mean, it's a good question. I don't know.
He had a kick return. Did he have a punt return?
Oh, it was a kick return. You're right. It was a kick return.
He ran slap into those guys. Where's the wiggle? Like, where's the...
Dude, he was destroying people in the preseason, too. Like, he was just...
In what?
In practice. The issue is maybe he was going against these wide receivers, which is
no, I was talking about Travis J in the return game. Like, in high school, he was so explosive. He was such a game changer. I mean, he even played quarterback.
Even last year, he had some wiggle pre-injury before he had the ankle injury. He had wiggle as a returner. Oh, that's inappropriate. The coach's daughter is very young. That's really inappropriate. Shouldn't put that out there. No, you need to be careful.
Did good. I thought Philly had okay. This person, Lord Agnew, would rather see Ward run the ball 60 times than them run anything on offense again. Philly did okay.
I mean, Trayshawn Ward, king of the spring. That guy runs really, really, really hard. And yeah, the run game is something they can do well.
Oh, David has a great question, Brendan, that you can answer. This is an easy one for you. Where does the program go from here?
I think they've hit rock bottom.
Oh, there you go.
So you can only go up.
Thank you. That was great. Sinone's a biatch.
Whoa.
What's the point of playing two QBs if they play like this? I think they're trying to find one that can play good. Right?
It was a little strange, like that they went one series with one series with another. Like they're still seriously trying to figure out how to play both of them together, and it hasn't been successful.
Felt like we should keep feeding Ward the ball. I agree to an extent. Jay Sean looks like he's back to grinding it out. Like he doesn't look.
Yeah, he didn't look as quick or as explosive. I don't know if he had the fumble early, and maybe that got it kind of like he just got kind of conservative with running. But Trayshawn Ward through 3 games, I think, is probably the best, most consistent.
I think we can all relate with Daniel here when he says we are all dying. Yes, we are, some faster than others. What's the deal with Dillingham? Why is this guy a coordinator? He's not calling the plays.
I mean, he kind of is. They're not all his plays. He's helping put the game plan together.
All right. What was Ward out of the game so much? Because other guys were playing. Where does Travis Hunter go next year? Florida State. Hey, Josh and Brendan, are we sure Norvell isn't Buddy Garrity? Ward all day, king of the spring. I meant the coaches. Would asking the hard questions and pushing Norvell in a press conference be worth losing access for the season? It's not like they say if you ask hard questions, you'll have access. For
I don't understand.
Why don't you just get in there and ask the hard questions?
Why don't you fire Adam Fuller right now is what they want us to ask. And
do you go to Chuba?
Do I go to Chuba? I don't think he's better than anyone else.
I'm sure we've hit rock bottom yet. Garrett D may be onto something.
I can't prove that they have. I thought they did a year ago, man.
There's more. There's room for a bottom. Like, when you look at a stock and you're like, oh, it could still bottom out. Like we haven't hit bottom. This stock hasn't bottomed out yet before it bounces up. Mm-hmm. There's still a chance for us to hit a rockier bottom. You realize that, right?
Yeah. I mean, they could be 0-4. That's worse than 0-3.
No.
Next week.
The approaching meteor that is UMass. That could rock.
I mean, what do you think the odds are that they're winless going into UMass, going into Walt Bell, coming down to Talent?
How many games? What week is that?
They have Louisville, and then do they have UNC the next week? Or am I missing? Is there one in between?
David Pierre said then the players have the nerve to go on IG and share videos on their story right after losing. Who's sharing videos on their story? Newberg for QB Hive. What does that mean, Brendan? FSU gave Mike the okay to look for another DC. That's on him. He has to go.
They got Syracuse.
Has Gaynor gotten worse as a player? That's a great question.
he seems like he really struggles in space, which is funny. That's what I thought he'd be really good at coming in. He just struggles when he's asked to turn. Anything other than coming straight forward and attacking, he's not really comfortable with. It's weird.
All right. What else are they saying? Rock bottom is yes, I agree. 4th and 2, QB run with Milton. Love it. Call it again.
I mean, the play wasn't well executed. I think it was Cam McDonald, but one of the tight ends didn't block someone and was just downfield without touching a single soul. And that probably helps if you can clean it up a little bit. But still, Mackenzie Milton's not getting you any extra yards as a design runner.
Why not start Chuba?
I mean, at this point, like you're 0-3, you might as well try. I just don't think Chuba's ready. And you can break him before he actually has a future still. But you're at the point where like I don't hate like trying different stuff too to try to generate something. Just Chuba's not better than the other guys at practice. He's just not. He's the 3rd best quarterback on the roster. It's hard for people to comprehend that that's true. How do the DBs look this bad?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember people were criticizing them taking all the DBs in the transfer portal. And now you kind of see why they loaded it up. But I didn't think they'd be this horrendous and unable to play. Like Jarvis Brownlee disintegrating has been weird. Jerry and Jones not being able to do anything. I don't know. Strange.
Jerry and Jones not being able to do anything does not surprise me. He's been somebody who's been on my list for
he was not good last year.
Years now.
Yeah, he was not good last year.
I haven't been too impressed with him. Who's there to make plays on offense?
Trayshawn Ward. Jason Corbin sometimes. I mean, he did have an 89-yarder. They busted out. Jordan Travis can make plays, but it comes with, like, he seems to be, like, a high-volume guy at this point. Like,
what is a good bourbon to drink right now?
I'm trying to find where mine is. I think any bourbon is a good bourbon, Kyle. I don't think you can go wrong at this moment.
Do they make, like, a ketamine-infused bourbon that
there's a bleach-flavored one. It's called just
If
bleach.
Kendall Briles wasn't named Briles, would he be the coach right now?
No, why would Kendall be the coach right now? Like what? Like why would he be the head coach?
He was a failed offensive coordinator at FSU, and he should have gotten the job. Where is Demore Tate?
Demore's at practice, and he's on the team. He's just not a better option.
William, we're with you.
Oh, Kyle said he's
honest.
Wild Turkey 101. I was gonna say a good cheap one. That's a good call, Kyle.
Be honest, is this team worse than the Taggart? Taggart had tools. Taggart had Cam Akers. Taggart had Tamori and Terry. Taggart had some dudes still left on that team. Yeah. Are we stuck with Mike for 4 more years? 4 more from here. I don't think his contract's that long, right?
His contract was 5 years, I believe, not 6. No, I mean, if it's really, really, really bad, I think you get out of it a year or 2 early, but you're definitely not going to – it's almost impossible to think of them hitting the eject button this early in the contract. They're still paying Willie for a couple more years.
So we'll have to hold off for a couple more years on Dion, is what you're saying?
Dude, look at that one. Mike had Tamori and Terry too. Mike
did. Man, we're getting a lot of questions. All right, let me breeze through some of these. If this one still trips me out. This one's still funny to me. How fun is it covering this program the last few years?
Tack Daddy, Dustin Tackett left the beat, and FSU hasn't been the same since. So we need to get Dustin Tackett back in Tallahassee right now.
Yeah, it's been fun. Now. It's been so much fun.
And, Dustin would ask the hard questions too.
Do commits start to look elsewhere?
Yeah.
At what point? I talked about this on
I'm sure
the message board, and I think recruits have a breaking point, right? At some point, I think Florida State has to show improvement. I prefer to take it week by week. Like, you can only go week by week, and we just got to sit back and see if there's any damage done. Florida State's 0-3. I definitely will be, monitoring the commitments and seeing if any shake loose, any decommitments, anybody starts to reopen their recruitment. I think the next 48 hours are crucial. And then we're on to the next week. And then it's just a week by week thing. There's nobody out there that I'd point to that's gonna flip today, but it could happen.
Josh, how do you think a flip occurs? Like, that's one thing. Like, prepare the people. Like, when you start seeing one of these top tier guys that you don't want to lose, like a Sam McCall, a Dragon Williams, someone like that. Like, when they start to get cold, like, how's this going to unfold?
When who?
Any, like, I mean, people are obviously worried about Travis Hunter, right? But
I'd only worry about the top quarter of the commit list.
Right. So, but when those guys start to cool, if they start to cool, what does that look like? Like, how does it start with hey, I'm visiting this school? Does it start with them not responding to our messages or like typically
yes,
what are the
that's
warning
the way
signs?
it starts to go. That's always how it starts to go.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, is the warning signs that we need to look for.
The warning signs are less communication with the coaching staff first and foremost. Then, yeah, sometimes we do, the recruits cut communication off with us if sometimes if a decommitment's imminent. I mean, there's telltale signs, but what I'm looking for is that decommit note. Right, TJ? Tradition like no other. Did FSU play so poorly that Brendan decided to go into another room? No, he's on vacation.
I'm on a different house, son.
Keyshawn Helton looked decent. He looked like a number 3 or number 4 wide receiver in my book. Like if he was FSU's number 3, we'd be in a much better place. Instead, we got Keyshawn playing the number 1 spot. Go ahead, Brendan.
Crisis Management 101. Don't delay to tomorrow. It needs to be done today. If you do not think that Adam Fuller is your defensive coordinator next year, pull the plug now and get the coaching search going. If that's what
I got a good buyer Sinone. Wide receivers shouldn't have to worry about wearing masks because they can't catch anything.
I mean, COVID joke. I can
buy that.
laugh at it because
Darian House. I thought we were supposed to have a great strength program. These dudes look weak.
I don't know.
Hold on, Brendan, hold on.
What?
We got criticized by the Knowles 24/7 message board all offseason for saying that this team looks small. We had people doing deep dives on today's roster versus 90s roster telling us how we are wrong. This team doesn't look small because they outweigh some team in like 1994.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, we have people all spring telling us that we're wrong, that this team doesn't look small. I mean, I had a source, former coach at the first scrimmage. He was in town for Bowen's funeral, tell me it, and I said it on the podcast, and I got criticized up and down in the thread saying that this team isn't small. This team's small. Like, go watch. I was flipping back and forth with the Alabama and Florida game, and that looked like when you go on a Saturday morning to the Little League field and you're watching the Mighty Mites play, and then the Pee-wees take the field, and it's the like the group older, and you're like, oh yeah, there's a clear difference. Go watch some of these big time games, and there's a clear difference in the size of the players on the field.
Yeah, I don't even think, though, FSU's gotten into the heart of the schedule where like that size difference is showing up drastically, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like,
yes, I agree. At least Willie had fun buzzwords and catchphrases. He also didn't lose to an FCS. Those are facts. Willie had much better catchphrases. Climb, that's all we've gotten. No war daddies. No, what am I missing over there? There's more.
Badasses. And
when do you start taking the gloves off in coverage of this team?
Sean, elaborate. What would you?
How should we take the gloves off? I mean, I don't have any gloves on. I don't even tape up my fingers. I don't even have a pencil. How many players will start to transfer from the program before season's end? None, because a lot of these guys transferred in. If you can't play at Florida State, where can you play? Unless you're talking about like guys going to go to Troy and Arkansas State. I mean, where's guys going to transfer? And what do you transfer for? You normally guys transfer for better playing opportunities.
That's true.
If you can't play at Florida State, then you don't deserve the opportunity elsewhere. The portal is shut down. Could a Coke bender like my friend Pam went on let us play with the speed of a Jaguar? I wish it was that simple. Tell the people where Demore Tate is.
Bro, TJ, I'm getting my haircut like in 2 days. I don't need this stats from you right now.
CJ says this has to be the worst stretch of FSU football. Yep, we all agree with that.
Rock bottom.
Does FSU go winless this year? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I'll put money on it, Patrick. They don't go winless. Statistics are on my side.
Allison's ordering sushi here in 10 minutes, so we're going to wrap this thing up in about an hour. So we're only going to take your questions for another hour. No,
that was not what I agreed to.
Where was I at? I wish people would actually look at the players and not the logo. You'll see that we have the minimum talent to compete with bottom end of the ACC. Yeah, that's a good point. Not only do we have the bottom tier talent to compete at the ACC, we're competing with teams that lost to UAB by a shutout.
FCS talent.
Buyer Sonone. Brennan would look better with Berg's haircut. I'll buy that, and I'll buy that with any of my haircuts. Like Brendan would look better with. I've had about 7 or 8 since I've known Brendan. He would look better with any of the 7.
My haircut looks sharp when I get it trimmed. It's just
wasn't expecting to be able to be that poor. I quickly found out we had no shot at winning. I mean, I don't think the D line was that poor. I think that the D line just didn't have any help.
They were ineffective against the pass rushers today, and that was surprising. Part of it, they were trying to keep Sam Hartman.
Oh, here we go. Fire everyone except Woodson, only because of Travis Hunter.
His position group is not playing particularly well, but yeah, if you lose Woodson, you lose Travis Hunter.
Shout out to Josh Sweat.
He did. He got paid.
Aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired with this team? Boy, let me tell. No, we love this team.
I am disheartened by covering this program. It's brutal.
What hurts you the most?
The hopelessness.
But
or having hope and then getting it, like having Notre Dame and then the 2 weeks afterwards.
Does it hurt you to see and report like on good practices and then see the team come out and just lay eggs?
Yeah, like all preseason, like Jordan Travis is dropping dimes and he comes out there and like struggles as a passer and everyone thinks we're lying to them. It's like, no, those things happen. It just didn't translate over to the game. I'm sorry. I'm not responsible for the quarterback completing passes in games.
You think Chris is okay?
No, he's driving. No, I think he flew, but still, he's in Greensboro, North Carolina, covering that game. No.
Put Brendan in the long hair you had a year ago. Yeah, put Brendan in like the hair that I had with all the gel in it. Remember with like the sleek,
that was
like
good.
the part,
you're wearing like really vibrant
hard part and all that.
Now you're.
I'd like to see you in that.
You're a little douchey back then.
Still am. So last week I went to the Judas Priest concert, and today I went to the Rays game instead of the watching. So I guess I'm doing well, skipping the games. Yep, keep up that spirit.
He's the bad luck. Meet him back in the Notre Dame form, watching the game.
How much will Louisville be favored for? Oh, I watched the Louisville game.
Yeah, Louisville ripped out my heart.
Not only are they well coached, but they got some phenomenal players.
That seems hyperbolic, but they do have an athlete at quarterback.
He's one hell of a player.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you guys about that one. If you want an actual line.
I'm going to the Rays game tomorrow too.
4-point favorite, Louisville on the road.
All right.
Someone called him Trayshawn Harrison.
Where was Trayshawn Harrison? Should have been given the ball more. I agree.
Oregon State.
Remember it seems like players making plays in some game and then completely disappear. Who's made plays
Trayshawn Ward.
Completely disappear?
Trayshawn Ward.
Did he completely? I guess he completely. But did he make plays? He
went for a full quarter without touching the ball. So.
Are there any positives to take away at this point? Yeah, I think it's great that Florida State finally played a 3:30 game and we're not taping this at 1 a.m. That's positive.
Yeah, 3:30 next week too. And you know what, Josh? Almost 100% chance there will not be a primetime game the rest of the year. So positives.
That's good because those 1 a.m. pods hurt my soul. They're not even 1 a.m. They're like 2 a.m.
They're like 2 a.m. and then you're all jacked up from it.
Josh looks like Adam Sandler. I wish I got paid like Adam Sandler.
I think that's
Fire Norvell. Why does the coaching staff still believe that Milton can help when they don't have the O-line needed to make Milton effective? I think it's mainly because of how poorly at times Jordan Travis plays.
I mean, Jordan Travis started this season for a reason.
Which was?
That he probably gave them the best chance to be efficient and consistent on offense with the run game element. You know
Can
who
you hear
wasn't
the
around?
TV? The TV's been on. Can you hear
I
that in
don't
the
know.
background?
I think
Do you
I
need me to
heard,
shut
but
that off?
my wife she's watching True Blood in the other room, and I thought I was just hearing that, and I was wondering if people were hearing that. Yeah, I can hear your TV. That's what it is. You know who didn't play at all today or much? If they did play, I didn't see Andrew Parchment.
Oh,
Do
seriously.
you
Do we
remember
have
him?
anyone on offense who makes first team ACC? What? For what?
Trishawn Ward.
The punter? Is there such thing as a youth movement with this team? I think that's what makes things so sad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cleaned house last year and did the churn and burn. Which
Okay,
seemed like
let's
the right
actually
move.
let's play with that a little bit. Like if there was somebody youthful that you wanted to see right now, who would it be?
More Darian Williamson.
Did he have a penalty? Did he have the running into the kicker?
Yeah, it should have been running to the kicker, not roughing. I think that was bullcrap. I didn't think it should have cost them first down.
It's just like
yeah, but
it's
dude's
so
trying to
hard
hustle.
for us to get off the
I-
field, and then you
I
go
know.
and do something like that.
I know. But he's a wide receiver. I'm not going to tell him he shouldn't play wide receiver because he had that.
Shaheem
penalty.
Brown, I think, is the answer to this question.
Yeah, more of him. I mean, he had his whiffs against Jacksonville State, but they're internally saying he's a first-round draft pick one day. We'll see about that, but they do think very highly of his talent.
Answer this question while I tell people to tune in on.
We are so bad that UM will make last year's loss look like a close game. That is just how bad we are.
You think that's true?
Wait, I don't understand. I'm so bad that UM.
We are so bad that UM will make last year's loss look like a close game. Like they're going to beat us by 80 this year.
I mean,
Miami looked pretty bad.
Maybe Miami's a 1-2 and almost.
Why won't they play Chuba? Is it time for the youth movement?
I mean, okay. So the Chuba thing is like he's the third best quarterback on the roster. That's why he's not playing more. Now, if you want to go ahead and throw him in there and just say he's going to learn and we're just going to commit fully to it at this point, that's fine. But it's going to look worse.
Higgins was getting critiqued a lot last year. Now it seems like he has the best job security of the bunch. We might need another interim head coach soon.
I don't know.
Here, let's see what this old man has to say.
No.
I'm the most disappointed with Norvell's decision making through 3 games. What's been the most disappointing? Okay, old man.
Wayne.
My disappointment probably comes from the failed McKenzie Milton experiment.
That is a toughie. That does hurt me.
Is it safe to say that by now? Can we call it that?
UCF alum.
Can we call it failed?
We can call it, dude. If you want to call anything a failure, I'm not going to defend any of it. They're 0-3. Like, no, I'm not going to defend any of that.
Bring back the turnover backpack. There's a lot of things we need to bring back, and I think that's one of them.
No one proposed after this game. Which
throw in the damn towel. Throw the towel into the turnover backpack because we're not ready to quit yet.
What did Brady Scott say? Because you got him on your other podcast. What did Brady Scott say about the proposal?
That it was a success.
It was. She said yes. That's all. She
said yes.
I mean, that's at the end of the day. That's all. Like sometimes you get an ugly win. Like sometimes you
they're 0-3. At least my man's engaged.
You can maybe fumble the handoff with the ring. You can take a knee wrong, but as long as they say yes, that's all that really matters.
Who would you go after for DC? Jeremy Pruitt.
I mean, that would.
Was Manny right about fake momentum? Can Mike still stuff him in a locker on signing day? Oh yeah, definitely. I can see that happening.
Manny was being an idiot about that anyways. So
he was being mean. Miami and FSU should combine coaching staffs and rosters and see if they can win more than 7 games. Is the coaching that bad or the players uncoachable? Boy,
is that Brian Robinson, the wide receiver?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I want to see him more too. Youth movement.
He wants to know. Brian, we want to see more catches from you. You tell us, Brian. We'd like to know. Are you struggling that bad with the offense, or is it the scheme, Brian? I'll buy Jimbo all the Christmas trees to come back. I'll even buy him a menorah. As long as there's capable receiver inside of, I don't know. How many wins do you see happening?
Josh, did you just give up? Did you just give up on your joke? You realized it wasn't going anywhere?
Which one?
I think it just felt like you kind of petered out there with whatever you were saying.
No.
You're gonna give Jimbo something. You're just like, never mind.
My menorah. I'll buy him a menorah.
Okay.
This guy said he's going to buy him all the Christmas trees. I don't know. Maybe Jimbo found Judaism in Texas. Like we're just crossing all the T's and dotting the I's
Judaism,
here.
I don't think Texas necessarily. Those two don't seem to coincide necessarily.
How many wins do you see happening? Back to that one. Speaking of a Christmas miracle, how many wins do you see?
I'm at this point. I think 2 to 3 is where we're at. Right. UMass, Syracuse. What else do you feel good about, Josh?
Is it too late to schedule UConn? I feel like that could be a win.
Right, do you remember UConn used to be good?
Yeah. UConn beat USF.
Yeah.
In the USF's heyday. Can we get Tom Brady to play for us?
I was at that game. I was at that game watching USF.
We got our own version of Tom Brady. We got Mackenzie Milton. He was supposed to be like our Tom Brady. That was supposed to be like the move. Norvell has to be beside himself with all the penalties. Has to be. He has to be irate.
At least they don't spend a lot of time on it in practice.
What? This is a great question. Can we get a follow-up on this? Whatever did happen to Lethal Simplicity? Did we ever find out?
What do you mean? What do you mean? The song?
Yeah, no, where has Lethal Simplicity gone since I don't know.
Like Willie doesn't call it that anymore?
The Beat lied about how organized this team was. Oh, Beat needs to answer. Do we try Chuba? I'd like to see it.
I mean, clearly the fan base does it.
Can FSU even afford Kiffin at this point?
Mike Norvell is very organized. Players are uncoachable. I mean,
yes.
Multiple.
Does Mike need to bring the dreads back? I think it's due time.
That'd be something.
What is the feeling within the booster corps? I'm an alum, but I don't donate any money, so I can't speak on that.
I have a buddy. I will get the details.
I got a couple texts. Hold on. I got a text from a booster. I'll read it.
Irate is what was described to me.
I was texted at 6:51. So bad.
PM. Oh, they said so bad. I mean, they ain't wrong. It is really, really bad.
So the booster corps is feeling bad. Does it seem like every game we have 2 to 3 offensive linemen writhing on pain? It does.
Yeah. Well, that's not new.
No, that's not. And that's why we always talk about, like, when we talk in the preseason, FSU trying to find the 8 that, they're comfortable with, and how many of the 8 do we think that they have, and maybe it's 6, maybe it's 8. Well, now you see why, because there is an offensive lineman writhing in pain nearly every game.
Yeah. We did push, like, there's things that people think that we don't push back enough on. We push back on the idea that they had 8.
Is it QB play or play calling?
Josh wants me to go faster. I think you would have to start with the defensive coordinator is probably where people would want to go. And I mean, if you're gonna get rid of a position coach in the middle of the year.
I'm only a low-level booster. Well, Garrett, it's good to know how the low-level boosters feel. Can we get a high-level booster in here for a minute?
Did Garrett text you? Was it Garrett who texted you?
No, it wasn't Garrett. No. It was I don't know. My buddy's probably a mid-level booster. Do we see any commitments in the coming month or two, or that ship sail?
Dude,
sailing on down. I think that ship is sailing. Josh, are you willing to grow out your hair until we win another game? I'm willing to do a lot for this program. I'm willing to do a lot for this university. If growing out my hair is the answer, I'll do it. Is it the answer, Brendan?
Yo, people, make sure you're subscribing to this YouTube channel. We're almost at 1,000, please. Let us get ads.
Smash that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Retweet this. Tell your friends about it. Just help us out here. What percentage of the team answer this one?
Well, sorry, I'm trying to look at something on the another.
What percentage of the team is Mike Norvell? I coach able kids.
I mean, on the 2 deep, it's about.
Also, do you look good in a mullet? Nah.
It's about 55% or so, 50 to 55%. It's more than half.
Can we bring Travis Johnson back in some off-field role like Ed Reed? Yeah, because Ed Reed's working out so well with the Miami Hurricanes.
We're up past 1,000 subscribers. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. But smash that share button too.
Bro, I need money. Like, I need to get monetized so I can get this haircut. I'm poor right now.
Yeah, we need to hear from $1 million booster. Get in here.
Ignore the beach house behind me.
Who's the best QB in the state? Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Jeff Bowden? No.
It was
I
Dylan
can't lie.
Gabriel
Norvell's
until
always giving me the
yesterday.
creeps. Whose fan base feels worse?
I think
Miami's.
Miami feels where FSU was last week. Not that it's historic, but like, yeah, they're done. They realize the season's done for them today. So that's a good place to be.
Allison's ordering sushi. What's your go-to sushi roll?
Oh, you guys get like sushi delivered?
Yeah.
seems-
We might go pick it up.
That seems dangerous. I don't do sushi.
I'm a very extremely high level booster, and I'm pissed off. We have a high level booster in our chat, everybody. Brendan, you're in the presence of greatness. Say hello.
I guess so. Christian is pissed.
It wasn't lethal.
True.
Plot twist. It wasn't lethal. I missed the big 3 roll. So do I. Actually, no, not on days like this. Is it more Norvell or the fact that we've had 2 coaching changes in 4 years?
Yes. I don't know where Chris is. I think he's dead.
I don't think we need Chris.
Okay.
Imagine how the kid that got Norvell. Yeah, I know. Imagine if you. But there's probably people in this chat that have a Florida State tattoo. Do you have a Florida State tattoo, Brendan?
But I can't show you where it is right now.
Gotcha. All right. Let's get some
That was too long of a question.
Do you think it's time to move on from Travis? He's hurt every other play.
Again, where are you going? People want Chubba.
Where are you going to go?
Chubba, and who also has his own injury issues. Let me ask Mrs. Sinone.
Does size matter? Yeah, I think it does.
Never mind.
Karen Johnson says, it went south when you blocked me. This is on you, Josh. So how did she get in here?
Damn it, Karen.
How did she get in here? Somebody block her now. Which QB? So we start next week. Do we lose Travis to what? The fact that you have displayed 3 of my comments has made me subscribe. Hell yeah.
Oh wow. Is it at FAU? Is he getting the Boca Raton home field advantage?
Who?
Willie.
Oh, I didn't read that one.
Well, the question's right there. You have it on the screen.
Yeah, I was texting somebody. Do we start at Q? Oh, wait.
Going off the road.
Prime would get a top 5 class year in, year out.
Josh's ADHD sitting.
UConn versus FSU in the toilet bowl at the end of the year. At what point are we going to address coaches who come from AAC and their future success? Let's address it right now. Who has come from the AAC that
Willie
has put on a show?
Oh, that is actually like thrive.
Fuentes is doing pretty well.
Yep. I mean, he's okay. They're up and
I
down.
mean, he's got it.
Today.
You know, he was teetering last year on the brink there of getting fired, but he still has a job.
Hang on. I'm trying to think. There's got to be someone. Scott Frost hasn't done that well. Let's see. I'm going down the line. The issue is like the AAC hit its peak a couple years ago, and the early signing period hasn't there's been no one really good to come out of it.
Right.
Like no new coaches have really succeeded. So like most of these coaches are coming from that era, and it hasn't been no one's really been able to establish themselves other than maybe Jimbo, and he obviously didn't come from the AAC.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Chris. I mean, are we to the point where we just go get Saban now?
Here's one thing I will say.
Have we gone low enough where we just go get Saban?
Here's the one thing I will say. Like, football drives so much revenue, and it's so important for it to be good, right? Like, for FSU and for the city of Tallahassee to be at its peak, the football program has to be good and competent. Yet, football programs will constantly kind of hem and haw over like $500,000 or $1 million annually to a coach. If you believe that like investing in a coach is the right decision and the right move, why would you ever take a shortcut there? Like, what's the difference annually in a couple $1 million with your coaching staff salary if it ultimately leads to a higher level of success. If you think that's the case, that doesn't mean it's always going to work out, obviously, but you're not going to get Saban, but if you're going to go and be in big boy football and your next coordinator hires whenever that comes or whatever, whoever you're bringing in to help out Mike Norvell, you can't take shortcuts. Got to pay him. Got to pay him big time. I think I just fired coordinators, Josh. Breaking news.
Thanks for that, Brendan. That was useful. I was at FSU from 87 to 90. I am traumatized now. I was at Florida State from 2000 to 2005, and I am traumatized right now. Norvell's slingshot. Whew. Let's talk about it, Brendan.
I don't know if you can bring that out ever again. Like, regardless of what happens, you can't bring that out, right?
I think it's much like the Wildcat. I think if you're Norvell right now, you lean into the slingshot.
I think it's like Willie's whistle around his neck. I think you just got to bury it and say, yeah.
At what point is there a move made regarding coaching staff?
We had a scenario. Should I share like in the group thread, in the Notes 24/7 group thread yesterday? After watching Louisville game, said, man, if things go poorly against Wake Forest on defense, and then if Billy Cunningham runs all over FSU's defense next week, do they make a coaching change by game 4 or after game 4? I don't think anyone really said that would be the craziest thing in the world to happen to not make the coaching change. So could be soon if FSU doesn't win a game here in the next week or two. It wouldn't be crazy.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Do I have any questions for you?
Yeah.
Personally? Are you
personally, professionally?
Are you done with this podcast? Or is your ADHD taking?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I get.
Also, do you think we need to pod like with Chris, or I think this is
again? I think this is your ADHD being like, no, I don't think we have to. I think you came in with the plan and you've changed the plan midway through, and you realized there was more work to do.
Everything started with Kane Madden choosing Indy over FSU. No, everything started with the hashtag Kane Madden to tally.
I thought that was a done deal at the time, wasn't it? I can't see the comment. I'm trying to pull Kane Madden stats.
Oh, man. Since Bud came with Norvell, can we send him packing too when Norvell leaves? No, you guys are stuck with him, and we'll. I am 94 to 98 guy. I thought the Virginia loss in 95 was a low point. Boy, was I wrong. Watch out for low points.
Kane Madden's PFF grade is 55.3. I don't even know if he'd be starting at FSU right now, even with the offensive line issues. Poopy.
Other than Atkins, what other coaches do you think survive after the season? I think probably most of them will.
Most of them will.
We saw a majority of them get extensions.
Yeah.
We saw. I don't think there's going to be like a mass coaching change.
There'll be probably some. They're due for some anyways, just statistically. But like again, I think a lot of people are going to fall before Mike Norvell falls. We're
actually ordering sushi from Ichiban.
What? That's
hey,
crazy.
Allison.
Original Judd's like your best friend. Are you sure it's not you? He's talking about subscribing. He's got all his questions. It's Allison's Original Judd. Marvin.
DB coach needs to go. Yeah, that's not.
Listen, if the defensive coordinator goes, I think a fairly high amount of a new staff comes into at least one or two guys.
No, as much as the fans give you crap, they don't give me crap. I really don't get crap from the fans. Thank you for the content. Too bad this squad sucks. Donkey testes.
Yeah, thanks, Darian. Why don't you get like I feel like that used to be your role was the guy who catch all the heat, and it falls almost exclusively to you now.
You're more accepting of it, I think.
I don't think I accept
when the hate comes your way, you accept it. When the hate comes my way, I'm just like,
oh, so you ignore it.
This can't be for me. Nico Marchiol, did you see his game last night? LOL. Yeah, he had a great game. So did Jaleel Skinner. Shout out to Jaleel Skinner catching his first touchdown of the season.
I'll be honest. I watched Nico, and it was cool. Like the highlights for them to come back. What were they down 17 with a minute left?
Free Renegade. Is that a thing?
He didn't throw the ball very. Renegade was.
Is this the thing?
Week. I don't know what they're talking about.
Did anyone else notice Mike looked like he was about ready to cry a few times? He should. It was sad.
I don't know if he was ready to cry. He did look pissed off, and he looked distraught. And
Nico balled last night.
Nico
Since
did
it
not
gets
look
brought
like.
up,
Oh my god.
he did. He had a great game last night.
I mean, just watch him. Like he doesn't look like the ball's just weird when he get whatever. I'm not. sold on
Also,
that
what the
one.
heck was Nordell telling Jay Trapp to play dead?
Yeah, it was weird.
What happened?
He didn't see it. So it was the play where it was McKenzie's first interception. The play before Jordan was holding his shoulder, and the referee told Jordan he had to leave the game, right, because he was hurt. So he goes to the sideline, and both of them, Jordan was like, "I don't want to leave the game," and Norvell was like incredulous. And to try to like end the to get the play to stop, and they put in McKenzie real quick. They had Jordan like fall down, like Mike told him to fall down, and Jordan just falls down on the sideline. And then McKenzie threw
This is disturbing. Hey, Karen, get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how to block people on here. I will, and I will address this situation.
I can block her. Do you want me to block her, or you just say
no? No, I want to.
Okay. I'll give you the power.
Someone make that talk to I'm sure somebody will. Who's in charge of position rotation? Chris Nee. Mike was pissed at those special teams, but who is in charge of positional rotation? Is it the position coach, or is it
and
Mike
I think
Norvell?
the head coach will talk to them before the game about is roughly
about what they
want to
do.
I agree with this, and then Norvell can't keep track of everyone during the entire course of the game.
All right.
Let me ask you this, Josh. I got a scenario for you. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. FSU finds the money. Let's say they win one game this year. They beat the Fighting Watt Bells, and that's it. And you're like, this ain't working, right? Because there is a threshold. So two-part question. One, what is the threshold in which you think they would think it made more sense long-term to fire Mike Norvell after this year?
All right, 0-1 wins.
Okay. But so there is a scenario in which you could say that would make sense, right? Okay. 2, you find $20 million in the street. You can pay him out. You can pay out Willie, and you have enough to hire a new head coach. Who's the head coach you think you can reasonably get that would?
I get to hire. If I'm hiring, I'm hiring Jeremy Pruitt, number 1. I'm hiring. Who else would I like to?
You're hiring Jeremy Pruitt as the head coach?
Yeah.
No.
Who you hiring? Nick Saban?
Everyone here wants Joe Brady. Think about the needle that in this thread right now, and I'm going to pull this up. And you have Karen just sitting there.
But you got to be realistic with who you can hire.
You don't think you can get Joe Brady to be the head coach at FSU? And think about all the the offensive skill players to be able to recruit. Keith Gordon wants James Franklin. Keith is someone who's been burned by James Franklin before, and no, I say no to James Franklin.
Shout out to the Plantation Vines.
Who's Eric Bieniemy?
He's the OC with the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think it's a no-brainer, Rich Rod. But if we're gonna get creative and hire a different coach, then yeah, sure. I like some of the names you threw out, but it doesn't hold a candle to Rich Rod. Oh, I live right near there too. Soccer wins ACC opener 4-1.
This is about to become a soccer podcast.
We are now a soccer podcast.
Bro, this guy here. How have the last 2 head coaches gone?
We could hire Mark. Would Mark leave Kentucky for FSU?
Didn't Kentucky just lose to an FCS program today?
Did they? I don't know. I think
they lost to Murray. I think they lost to Murray.
Sign him up. Sign him up.
Fit right in, huh?
I bet Hugh Freeze would take it.
Oh no, they came back and won 28-23.
Who's playing right now? Did Penn State score?
Georgia, South Carolina.
Or is Penn State starting? What's going on? I can't see the TV over there.
I don't know. I don't care anymore.
All right. You think a coaching change would make things worse?
Keith got me cracking up. Keith's funny.
Do you think a coach could make things worse right now?
Well, given that they haven't won a game, it's hard to imagine worse. But there is something for sustainability and having some sort of you can't just keep firing coaches after 2 years. I know we're joking around a little bit right now and blowing off steam. There is something that is you can't do it again. You can't do what you did to Willie to someone else now. What coach you're going to attract in a year or 2 from now, and then you have to go through all this rebuilding. It's just it'd be a mess.
Okay.
Unless you
There
got a
have it,
slam
folks.
dunk, cannot miss
No,
Nick
it'd be a
Saban
mess.
type of coach, like who would come in right away and get you a top 10 class. No,
I don't know if we're to the point where FSU goes after Saban
I
yet.
think they should. That's what I want people to be talking about this tomorrow on Twitter, being like, on the bench is stumping for Nick Saban. I want that to be a rumor that's floating around and someone to be taking it seriously. It keeps hilarious.
Realistically, would Urban ever consider the job? Nope. Georgia Tech keeping it close. What the hell is going? What the hell is going on? I took Georgia Tech in the points though, so
You
I'm
put
kind of
money
happy
on
for
it?
this.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a picks league. I don't. I don't ever singularly bet on football. It's just not my thing. I like to bet the stocks, and lose money in the stock market rather than losing money on football. But I do participate in a picks league with some friends. Shout out Colby Masterson. He puts it together. And I dominate.
Bro, people need to stop making fun of my hair in this chat. Yo, I'm getting it cut on Wednesday.
Oh, James Coley. Add James Coley to the list. Add Larry Scott to the list.
Not
Add
a comb over. There's nothing bald. There's no baldness.
Brendan's comb over is Fuego. I agree.
just need a haircut.
He's
Like,
been
that's
working
all-
on it for a while.
No, it's not a comb over. I just need it cut. It just doesn't have anywhere to go. It just flops. Listen up, Antonio. Let's see your hair.
Is Fuller gone? Do you think Nick Saban would keep Adam Fuller?
So would Nick Saban be coming here as the co-head coach? And
Somebody
Margolis
wants
the play
to know
caller?
if
Is that the scenario?
would somebody check on Chris Nee?
I don't know. No, because he's going to put me to work as soon as I check on him. So I don't. Feel
Do
like
we
that.
have a presser to attend?
He's there. He's attended it. I don't know what the end game. Chris doesn't communicate with me sometimes, and I think that's where we're at right now. He's not communicating at the moment with what he needs from us.
It's a good spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have anything you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
I'm not a fan of everyone making fun of my hair. It'll look good in like 3 days from now, whenever it's cut. So everyone can just chill out. Patience.
Okay. So hot board.
So put Nick Saban on the top of the hot board, right?
I'm just getting it ready.
I'm going to put this, thank you, Keith. I like Keith. Great article, Brennan, but the contrast with this morning's article is scary. This morning, I came close to saying today was a must-win for FSU.
I don't really agree with Keith.
You don't think it was a great story?
I don't think so. But
you said it was good.
Here's the board. It's hot. It's ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's hot and ready.
There's not any actual names on it. It's just you're saying it's prepared for when
it's just here. We can't put names on it yet. It's too early for that. Are we missing the 2 DB transfers from Arkansas and UCF? I don't.
One of them still on the team.
Think so.
One of them, like Brandon Moore left, and he was not going to be the same as what it ended up looking like post knee injury. Jarquez McClellan's on the team. He's not a scholarship player, I'm pretty sure, though, guys. So they didn't waste a scholarship on a guy who's not contributing, I guess, which is good. It's a toughie to not be playing in this secondary, though. That's tough. What up, Cam? Thank you, sir. Cam took time to answer. I'm calling him Cam like we're buddies. Cameron is his name. Took time to answer some questions. Thank you for the hospitality for treating Chris Nee right this weekend. I know he was probably a little grumpy.
Yeah, put a little money, put a little cash in his pocket on the way home. He can use it.
Send it down to us too, so I can get my hair cut.
Put a little cash in his pocket.
Darren's about to subscribe.
Kid from Arkansas played late in the game. Yep.
Yeah, he did, like third string safety.
Smash that subscribe button. Thank you, guys. Brendan's going to stay on here for another hour and take your questions straight up till 10 p.m.
I'm exiting.
We are the guys from Knowles 24/7. This was fun. We're here for you. If you have any other questions, you can always come to the Knowles 24/7 message board, and we'll be there.
Free Chris Nee. Free him.
Hit like, it helps the algorithm. It does. It does. All right. Are we out of here?
Someone ended on a but or Sano, not buy or Sano.
All right, love you guys.
FSU's record, but